All right, let's get started. Today we're gonna find out whose island is the best. And to do that, I need to figure out where I'm going. So far, this place looks like an ordinary island, except there's a strange aura about it. It's like the island is cursed.
Why am I having such a bad night's sleep? Wait, I'm not in my house right now. I'm in the middle of nowhere. What am I supposed to do? This must be some kind of island. But why was I brought here? I don't know that yet. So we should just start by looking around the island.
I think I see someone in there. It's Mikey. Hey Mikey, I guess we're gonna have a contest today to see who has the coolest island. I like that idea. Except like I thought, we can't hear anything from here. So for now, we're on our own. I think we should start by looking around a little bit. It's not exactly a pleasant island after all. You can tell by the amount of cobwebs on the trees. I've seen this kind of thing before, which means there's a chance that there are huge spiders on my island. There's only one thing you can tell from the looks of it. Something terrible has been done here, because why else would you put a guillotine right in the middle of the island? I just wonder if Mikey has a bad island too, because if he does, that's really weird. I mean, we're basically gonna have to argue about who has the uglier island, and I don't really want to be here. I'm gonna go check out the cave. I need resources to survive after all, and I can see that I'm not the first person to be on this island. There are still people here, but they're all long dead. I wonder how they got here. I'm guessing the same way I did. Oh well, I can use them to get some useful tools and resources. I also noticed there's a lot of precious ore. Looks like the island's not so bad after all. Whoever sent us here obviously wanted to help me, and now I'm off to a very good start. It's rare to get diamonds this fast. I think the first thing I'm gonna do is make my own armor and weapons, because I still don't know what dangers this island has to offer. After all, these guys are dead somehow. So, I really lucked out with the island, because right now, I can make a full set of diamond armor and still have diamonds. So, a sword will have to be made so I can fight monsters. Except, I still don't know if there are any on this island. So far, there's not even a single scary sound. But people have died here somehow, right? That means there are certain conditions under which monsters appear. And something tells me that those conditions are the change of day and night. Looks like I'll have to make a shelter just in case. I wonder how Mikey's doing. He must have a scary island too, so he'll have to fight for his life just like me. I also don't know what criteria we'll use to determine if one island is better than the other, but that's not important for now. The main thing is to understand what this island is. So the armor can already be put on, even if it is not so comfortable, but I will always be under reliable protection. And by the way, it does not need a lot of resources, and I do not want to waste time. So I'm gonna have to figure something out. And something tells me the most ingenious is a cobblestone generator. It's the easiest material to get after all, but it's pretty good, because if you build a house out of these blocks, it'll last a long time. The most important thing is that I get it right. At least I have water and lava, so I can try it a few times. But ideally, I want it to work the first time, because I still have a lot of things to do, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on the generator. So far, I'm not getting anything right.
Whoa! JJ is growing so fast. I don't think I should be lagging behind either, except he always gets the good stuff. And the island is obviously better than mine, so I might not be able to count on diamond armor. Well, I'm pretty resourceful, so I can think of something. I can make armor out of wood. It may not be as strong, but it's still armor. I could go to the mine, but I don't think I could find anything. Because like I said, I'm not lucky enough to find anything expensive. And I understand it's going to be nightfall soon, which means the whole island will be filled with monsters. It's not a sure thing, but it's a possibility. So I'll need to find some weapons and build myself a good shelter.
Yeah.
I'll have to get more blocks. Although I'd rather make a cobble generator. I'm sure JJ decided to make one too. I wonder if it worked. In the meantime, we need to deal with the armor. As I said, we should start with wooden armor. I'm sure if I dig the cave a little deeper, I can find diamonds too. I can't be that unlucky, can I? Actually, it could be I can't even remember the last time I made armor this bad. Usually I use iron. But because I have no money and little time here, I have to go to extreme measures. Still, I'd do anything not to die. I've been thinking, what if I sneak onto JJ's island? He's got a lot of resources there anyway. And since it's a big island, he might not even notice I'm there. Okay, well, that's something I'll have to think about. In the meantime, I've got to make a generator. To be honest, this is the first time I've ever done it in real life, because I've just watched videos on how to do something like this before. But then it seemed to me that there is nothing complicated about it. The The main thing is just to make the lava and the water work together. And you have to start with the mold, because you can't just pour water and lava together and get a boulder. Okay, we're almost there. Now I'll have an endless supply of building materials, which means getting to Mikey is getting easier and easier for me. I just don't want him to realize what I'm doing, because then it's not gonna work.
I think it's time to show Mikey how big the difference in islands is. I can see from here that he's running around in a wood you're on, and it's really bad. To prove it, we could take a little shot at Mikey. I realize that arrows aren't cheap on this island, but why not have a little fun? I'm gonna be a little bored without that kind of action. This is so much fun. It's also very funny how Mikey tries to get away from the arrows. He's just running in the same circle. He could just hide behind a tree and no one would notice him. Oh, come on. We've had a little break and we're moving on. Now I need to make a place where no one will enter. But that's gonna take a lot of effort. And if you think about it, it's not like I have a lot to do here. I think it's worth a look at the crates these miners brought back with them. After all, they knew they could use all this stuff. Well, you never can tell, can you? That's why I always try to take as many valuable resources with me as possible. That way, if I'm found, people can use what I've collected in my life. So I'll be doing some good in the future. In the meantime, there's something else to do. I think I got one of the most geriatric ideas in the world. I had completely forgotten about my competition with Mikey, and now I remember it. I think he's gonna love the TNT gun, especially after it completely destroys his island. Well, not completely, but still. It's a very powerful weapon, so I don't think Mikey can stop it. This one's easy to make. You don't even have to go to any trouble. The most important thing is to get a stream of water to carry the TNT down. And then there's a simple TNT ejection mechanism. Still want this process to be autonomous. Well, everything is ready. That means I can start destroying Mikey's island. I was wondering how much TNT it would take to completely destroy his island. Probably so much that I don't have the resources. Although if I had a sand and gunpowder generator, it would be possible. But as far as I know, that's just not possible. So we'll limit ourselves to the small salvo I've prepared. Even so, I can do a lot of damage to his island. And who knows, maybe that'll bring out more monsters at night than there should be. In that case, Mikey will have to deal with his own survival, and he won't have me to worry about.
Wait, what's going on? Is it just me, or is someone bombarding my island? And it can only be one person. It's all JJ. What am I supposed to do with it? I don't have a gun like that. I do have something else, though. I just need to get some ammo and then I can give him a good fight. I don't think he's expecting that. Well, that's it. I got my gun. It may look weak, but it's not. I'd even say it's a little better at destroying large areas. So JJ was obviously wrong this time. He probably thought I had nothing here, but I didn't. And now I'm gonna make him pay for destroying my island. I could actually create a charge so powerful that it would destroy his entire island. But that wouldn't be very interesting. So instead, I'm gonna take things one step at a time, because then I can feel the desperation in the heart of JJ. And for me, there is no greater pleasure than a JJ that loses. So if you can hear me, JJ, you better give up. I have many such technologies here.
Who would have thought Mikey would have such a powerful weapon? My Dinimta gun is nowhere near as strong, which means it's time for me to find a stronger weapon somewhere. And I think the best place to look is in a cave, because there's just too much weird stuff in there. Who knows, maybe I'll be lucky enough to find something good. I'd prefer a tank, but any other weapon will do, as long as it's strong. Too bad it's not going to be the kind of weapon a modern army uses. Well, it's time for me to go and check out what's behind that door. I've got an idea of how much technology is in there, only the reality is much more stark than that. Who would think to put another door in here? And it's locked. I feel like if I open it, there's another door waiting for me, but I don't have a choice. If I'm gonna beat Mikey, I have to give it everything I've got, so I'm not gonna give up on any door. And even if I have to open 100 of them, I'm gonna go all the way. It's a good thing I have lockpicks that someone kindly left in my trunk. It's almost like someone literally wanted me to open this door. And I'm gonna give them that future scenario, because everyone knows I'm the best at picking locks. It just takes a little time. But somehow no door can resist me. Well, that's it. The door's finally open. which means now I can see what's hidden in there. But what is it? I thought it was a weapon, but it's just a big TV? This is all very strange. Maybe I shouldn't have spent so much time picking that lock.
Okay, I'm doing pretty well so far, which means it's time to level up. To do that, I need to go to one place. As long as JJ doesn't realize I've disappeared, it's not going to be a surprise.
So, I think it's time for me to go to Mikey's island. I need to beat him as soon as possible, because the more time I give him, the stronger he can get. And that's not good for me. It's a good thing I have a harpoon. I can use it to get to a foreign island very quickly. I don't want to get wet, but I don't have any other option. If only there was an airplane, I'd use it. Although I still couldn't get a pinch. But that's okay. I'd basically just do a lot more damage to his island. So, I'll have to think about building an airplane. I've got a lot of blocks though, and I think I'm gonna have to hurry up. I realize Mikey's pretty slow, but if I keep underestimating him, he's gonna beat me. And I don't want that to happen. Because in any competition, I'm the only one who can win. Everyone else has to lose. So, yes, it's vital that I stop him from advancing. It's time for me to follow him and find out what he's hiding here. It doesn't look like a weapons cache to me. It's more like some kind of obstacle course. That's interesting. So I'm gonna have to go through it. Apparently, this will be the only challenge in this place, because it's quite difficult. And I'm really wondering what's behind that door. I need to get through this challenge as quickly as possible and open the door. It's a good thing there was another harpoon, because if it wasn't, I wouldn't have made it to the other side of that ravine. And by the way, I'm done. Just a few more moments and I'll be at the door. I'm a little freaked out by the sounds I'm starting to hear.
That's right, JJ. There's a reason you were afraid to come in here. And all because I was able to make an armor that will definitely destroy you. Look at how huge I am in it. I don't think you stand a chance against me. So why don't you just give up and admit defeat? You can see the difference between us is too big. So if you don't want to die, just put down your sword. I'm not some kind of tyrant.
Oh no, there's no way I'm losing to you. I got to admit, that armor's really cool. It's just not enough to beat me. I mean, look at you. You move so slow in it, and because of that, you can't dodge my attacks. I can do all that with ease, and you can't even hit me. So we have a winner.
No, I can't lose like this. I spent all this time making this costume.
Mikey, the secret is you've been losing from the beginning because you don't understand how to come up with a winning plan. He was hoping that by making the armor bigger, he'd have a better chance of winning. And in the end, it worked the other way around. If he had added firearms to the armor, I would have lost. But since he didn't have time for that, I can only be grateful to him. And now it's time to finish our competition with him. I have collected quite a lot of TNT in that room, so now I will be able to take his entire island. I just have to spread it out to cover as much ground as possible. Too bad Mikey can't see it. I'd love to see the look on his face as he screams at me with all his might. All that's left is to lay out the TNT. As I said, you need to spread it all over the surface of the island. I think it would be very cool if after the explosion, all I saw was water. But of course, this is unlikely to happen. The most important thing is that the island will no longer be survivable. And that's good enough for me. By the way, I decided it would be a little dangerous to set the TNT on fire myself, so I'll resort to the nice and safe option. I still have my TNT cannon. So, I'll use it to launch a projectile onto the island. And once it explodes, it sets off a chain reaction. And all I have to do is stand by and watch the best explosion I've had in a while, I'm thinking. I still have to hit the rest of the TNT pretty accurately to blow it up. That's okay. I brought extra blocks with me, so I'll be able to get a good aim too. So far, it's still pretty bad. I think I need to change the angle of the shot. Then it'll be exactly right. Now it's too high. Who'd have thought it would be so hard to hit with a gun? That's it. This time it's going to go exactly right. I was right. The chain reaction did go off, which means that the island is going to change its appearance a lot. I don't know why I did it though, do I? Mikey's not alive anymore, so this destruction could have been avoided. Oh well, I had to finish the job. Now that I've won, I can go about my normal business. From the very beginning, I wanted to make a non-sky house here, so I could sit back and relax from everything that happens outside the walls of this house. But with all these competitions, I didn't have time. And now I always have free time, so it's time to build a house. What a beautiful house I got! Small and cozy, it's exactly what I wanted. Now I have to do the inside of the house, because it doesn't even have a bed. If you think about it, I don't need much in here. Just a couple shelves, a bed, and a nightlight. I think this place is better than ever for sleeping. Of course, don't forget the bookshelves. There's no internet, so you're gonna have to keep yourself entertained. And books are the best way to do that. It's time for my vacation.
Stupid JJ. He was so excited about his victory that he didn't notice his main one suddenly showing signs of life. And that was his biggest mistake, because now I'm definitely gonna follow through. I've been through so much, I can hardly recover, but I don't need to be fully recovered for the final act. I just need to get to his island. I guess he did manage to blow up my island after all. That's okay, I don't really need it anymore. JJ's island is in very good shape. Too bad it won't last. I can't think of a better idea. I just want to blow up JJ and his house. He'll have a surprised look on his face when he realizes he didn't kill me after all. That's because you should have thought of that before. Now I'm all about revenge. And until I do that, I can't be a truly happy person. The important thing is to put as much TNT in here as possible. There's still a chance JJ will be in his cool armor. And then the TNT might not kill him. Well, that's it. I don't think it's gonna take long to get JJ to come in. I'll just set the house on fire and watch him disappear beautifully from this world. Just think. I finally won. I almost died, but the result is clear. I was able to kill JJ, and all because he underestimated his opponent.